Well, let me start by saying I welcome this budget, and I welcome the fact, in particular, there are over 70,000 more people in work in the North East than there were when Labour left office, the equivalent of every man and woman in my constituency. And this budget ensures there will be more. The £14 million of direct investment at the South Tees Development Corporation brings the total pledge to the site over the last year to £137 million. And Tees Valley Mayor Ben Houchen will now be able to deliver two major new metals projects, which will create 1,500 high-quality jobs. Despite the worst efforts of the Labour Party, people recognise something special is stirring in my region, and that new hope is being kindled on the banks of the Tees. There is social justice too. The Honourable Lady for Darlington referred to mental health in her speech, and I agree with her completely. It is a major crisis for many young people. What I would also say is, of course, there were £2 billion committed in this budget, £2,000 million committed to that, and I think that is an important investment, and it's important to note. On universal credit, I visited my local job centre in Loftus a fortnight ago, and the team there were passionately committed to supporting people into work. The billions committed by the Chancellor means that Torsten Bell of the Resolution Foundation was able to state unequivocally the government's flagship welfare reform is now more generous than the welfare system it is replacing. On Halloween, let's put an end to the scaremongering we keep hearing about the societal programme, and as a nation embrace the principle that everyone will now be better off in work than on welfare. We also need to look to the future in other ways. Boldness and bravery must be our watchwords. On housing, the fundamental problem is government-induced restriction on supply. Delivering demand-side policies without addressing the artificial constraints on the availability of land will only serve to increase taxes and inflate housing costs still further. In my paper for Freer last month, I called for us to lift the restrictions on development within half a mile of stations in the Green Belt. Across England, yes, I will. I'm conscious that I will. No, it will be brief.
I'm very grateful. He mentions the Resolution Foundation. Does he also recognise that they identified that better-off households, top 10%, will be £410 a year better off, whereas the poorest households will only gain £30 a year? Does he support that?
Tax cuts for hard-working people across our country who've had to put up with the highest burden of taxation in this country for generations. Anyway, back to housing, because I am conscious of time. This small release of land that I'm proposing would create enough land supply for at least 1.5 million new homes, while leaving 98% of all existing Greenbelt land entirely untouched. Indeed, the remaining area of the Greenbelt will still be over 115% larger than it was in 1979. There's growing cross-party consensus on this issue, and I pay tribute to the campaigning work of the Honourable Lady for Mitcham and Morden on this topic. We should also be looking to innovative proposals like those from London YIMBY, who set out how we could empower individual streets to set their own design codes and build upwards rather than outwards. We also need to look to Brexit. We frankly must stop looking upon our leaving the dysfunctional and anti-democratic EU as a problem to be mitigated rather than an opportunity to be seized. And trying to cling desperately to the skirts of the customs union is frankly unworthy of the world's fifth biggest economy. The announcement that there will be a special economic area in the Tees Valley is genuinely welcome news, and I hope this will become the first free port in the UK after Brexit, and indeed the first of many. But if that free zone is to be a success, it will need meaningful powers, and I refer ministers to the speech I gave in Westminster Hall in the debate I secured with the Right Honourable Member for Birkenhead. As we sit here today, we do not know the precise nature of our future trading relationship with Europe. What I can say with confidence, however, is that half measures and a lack of national self-belief must be rejected utterly as we forge our new path in the world.